Hey, it's Dr. Sarah, and let's talk about innovation. Now, when it comes to innovation, what is in your mind right now? What is a visual that comes to mind? A lot of times when we think about innovation, we think about technology, whether it's a device, a software, an app. Technology is often what we think about. But I really want to challenge you if that is the case for you and really open your thinking to innovation being much more than the limits of technology. A helpful definition of innovation comes from the resource, The Innovator's Mindset. And this is helpful in opening up our thought processes when it comes to what is innovation. Innovation can come from either invention, something that's totally new, or from iteration, which is the change of something that already exists for the better. But if it doesn't meet the new and better, the idea is not innovative. And that's really something important for us as leaders to keep in mind as we think about the teams and the departments that we lead. It's really important that we foster cultures, that we create environments where folks and teams can collaborate together, where they can have spaces of brainstorming and collaboration to have opportunity for innovation. I also like to remind leaders that innovation is not limited to a product. There could be a process or a mode of communication or a system within the business that you work for that has some real gaps, that has some issues or some challenges associated with it. How might you bring about innovation in that way, in overcoming those challenges, finding solutions, coming up with an innovative way to bring about value that allows for a better experience in that regard as well? So, again, don't limit yourself to thinking that innovation is only a product or only a technology. Another important paradigm viewpoint when it comes to innovation comes from the resource creativity. The first astronomers, the first chemists, and the first composers were not changing a domain, but we're actually bringing one into being. And throughout our careers, throughout the leadership that you will have within the various contexts that you work within, we know the importance of teamwork. And it's really important that as we lead these teams and as we lead cultures and create those organizational climates where folks are able to communicate and make decisions and work together, that we foster that culture that ultimately values innovation. Because you just never know what innovation may come about when you have your team working together. Now, 4 tips that we have for leaders include number one, leverage tools and approaches. Now, there are a variety of brainstorming tools, of methods out there that allow teams to collaborate and work together. And I encourage you to take advantage of that, right? Instead of just having folks come to a meeting and say, okay, we're going to come up with ideas, use some of the tools and some of the theories that are out there to support how you might go about facilitating and encouraging collaboration. From the futures wheel to the social network analysis to the appreciative inquiry model, use a tool that will help facilitate some of that interaction. A second tip for leaders looking to lead innovation is be intentional and purposeful in your approach to ideation, right? Understanding that innovation can happen in any aspect of a business, not just the part that you're selling, right? Not just the part that the R&D team is working on, or not just the part that the sales team is working on selling, but that innovation can happen anywhere within the organization as long as we are intentional about wanting to bring about a new and better way of doing something. The next important principle for us to think about is what I mentioned earlier. Innovation is not limited to a product, right? So really understanding that every aspect of the business, every aspect of how your team interacts with each other, there's possibility that there could be innovation infused in that in some way. And then a fourth principle that's critical is about communications and trust. Any team environment, whether it's a small team or a large department, relies on trust and communication. And so I encourage you, as you go about bringing innovation to life in your different organizations at different points within the business process, to really make sure you're emphasizing that communication and trust between team members so that together they can all collaborate. You can lead that way of thinking, lead that culture that values innovation. So let me ask you, how might you integrate innovation into your leadership?